Hi, Amri here. I hope you're well. I wanted to talk about diversity fatigue, but I want to tell a story first. I was on a panel of keynote speakers at Detroit Crane's Business D&I conference about in 2008, I think it was, with one of the speakers' names was Melvin Gravely. He's out of Ohio, fantastic speaker. He told this story about his wife wanting to re-landscape the front yard, and all he had to do was take a tree down, his portion or his contribution to this re-landscaping. So it came time for him to take the tree down, and he realized while he was okay with it, and he told his wife, I'm okay with it, but when he had to actually take the tree down and be in action, he realized he was okay with it, but he wasn't necessarily for it. He hadn't prioritized it. He hadn't wanted to be in action. He just was okay with it passively. Now, in the diversity conversation, oftentimes there are people who are okay with DEI, and this is the point that Mr. Gravely was making, is that a lot of people are okay with it, but they're not for it, therefore they're not seeing where they are inside of the paradigm, and they're not seeing how they can make it actionable, and that they have to be in action for this to work and for it to be sustainable, and it's not something that happens once or twice, it's incessant. And so on diversity fatigue, I think this notion of diversity fatigue that we've created, like most words in the diversity space have been created, to me it feels like a cycle of reincarnation because we keep having the same conversation over and over again, but nothing's shifting. And so while diversity fatigue might feel real, we have to really get clear on why diversity fatigue is occurring. And is it about the other, them that don't get it? Or is it about a space where we need to look at the mirror and see ourselves and see if the way we're doing the work is creating the conditions for everybody to be a part of the paradigm, to make it accessible to everyone, for everyone to know that they have to be in action, that they have to unambiguously prioritize DEI, and for everyone to understand that this must be aligned with oftentimes personal purpose, hopefully individual purpose, but definitely organizational purpose. So are we doing that? Are we holding up the mirror? I'm asking myself that every day and holding up the mirror to myself to see if my practitionership, if I've built to move change forward. Because all diversity fatigue is a response to change resistance, and every change process of significance has resistance, and therefore you're going to get tired. Now, over time, have I gotten tired of politics and having to deal with the dynamics of organizational life and the DEI work? Yeah, but that's not just because it's DEI work. That's because it's change work, and it's because it's organizations, and organizations have humans, and humans are complex, and there's going to be some politics to some extent somewhere, hopefully less in your organization, but it's always there. So what's my point? I think practitioners take on too much. We're not bringing people along to the extent that we could. We're not really tapping into their hearts and minds. We're not necessarily making sure that everybody knows that DEI is something for all of us, that all of us have to have access and understanding of where we sit inside of the work. Also, everybody has to be in action, and we have to prioritize this in a way that it's reflective of our organizational purpose. So if we want to really tackle this notion of diversity fatigue, I think we need to tap into those who have really done this work for a long time inside of the same organization in a meaningful way, such that they made change and that they brought more people along. They didn't have to do this all themselves. And the result was that they weren't fatigued, they were energized even when the resistance came, which it absolutely will and should. And if it doesn't, you're not doing the work. So I hope that was helpful. Make it a great day. Peace.